there is one person who is listening to my homily for the third time. That's Gary Cornell, who was sitting here in the front. He is my friend, a faithful friend from St. Mary's in Deer River. I thought I should have some company when I come here from that far. So he was so gracious to be with me from yesterday till today. My dear brothers and sisters, today our Mother Church celebrates the 16th Sunday in Ordinary Time. If you remember, last Sunday, or the 15th Sunday of the Ordinary Time, the Gospel was Jesus had sent out his disciples on a mission. That is, to say and do what Jesus was doing and saying. Now, those disciples have returned to Jesus with a detailed report of all they had done. And in the short gospel passage of today, we are told not much details of their conversation. In this short text, the evangelist St. Mark mentions Jesus' compassion twice or thrice in today's gospel. God's love for his people, Jesus' love for us, is shown by the image of a shepherd. And this is very common all throughout the scriptures. And we are all very familiar with the picture of Jesus as the good shepherd, rescuing a lost sheep and placing it on his shoulders. My dear brothers and sisters, it is a moving image of a loving God. The image of Jesus as a shepherd comes from Jesus himself. It is very clear if you read the Gospel of St. Mark, chapter 6, verse 34, the Gospel of St. John, chapter 10, verse 4, and the Gospel of St. Luke, chapter 15, verses 1 to 7. Jesus showed himself to be someone whom people could follow him without question, like a trusting sheep. They know the voice of the one who really cares for them. With the strength and wisdom, he leads them, he tends to their needs, and if any sheep strays, he leaves all other sheep in order to find that lost one and bring it back. That means he saves, he protects at the cost of his own life. That is why Jesus told, I am the good shepherd. In today's gospel passage, Jesus dealt with the people compassionately, even though they had interfered with his plan to rest. As we heard from the gospel, he saw them like a sheep without a shepherd. The same compassionate love is shown to his own disciples when they had to return after their first apostolic trip. And the Gospel says, he took pity on them and said, "Come away, rest a while." There is a practical message for each one of us here in this church today. If Jesus told the apostles to come and rest a while, he also tells us to do the same. Our lifestyle in the 21st century is certainly more hurried than that of the apostles in the first century. Sometimes we all think that it is impossible for us to practice Jesus' advice to come away and rest a while, because we all think that we are too busy with our own family, our spouses, our children, with our work. Each pastor of a parish, every teacher of a class, and every parent of a family is given the responsibility to lead the people entrusted to their care. But there are times in life when we feel the responsibility of leadership in a frightening way. There are times in our life when we feel we can no longer carry the burden that has been placed upon us. There are also times in our life when we feel like Jesus, who cried out in the Garden of Gethsemane, "My Father, if it is possible, take this cup of suffering from me." So, my dear brothers and sisters, when times of crisis like this come, what should we do? We should do what Jesus and many other religious leaders and world leaders like Abraham Lincoln, Martin Luther King, and Mahatma Gandhi did. We should do what Christians have always done. We should turn to God in prayer. That's the core theme of today's gospel. So, when we rest in prayer with Jesus, it has a way of improving our own vision. Right after Jesus prayed to his Father in the Garden of Gethsemane, the evangelist St. Luke says, an angel from heaven appeared to him and strengthened him. Most of the world leaders and religious leaders had the same experience. When they turned to God in prayer, God gave them the courage and the strength to continue shepherding their people. So, under the light of today's gospel and its message, let us put Jesus' words, Jesus' message at the very top of our to-do list each and every day. And this is the message for us today. Come to me, all you who labor and burdened, and I will give you rest. We need to do something in order to receive the rest that Jesus promised. And I think, and also I believe, that the best way to rest with Jesus in prayer is the adoration of the Blessed Sacrament. When I talked to David this morning, right before the Mass, he told me that you have the Eucharistic adoration on every Wednesday from 8 to what time? From 8 to 6, no? 6. Yeah. So that is a wonderful opportunity for us, as Jesus said, to come and rest for a while. What we do at the time of the Eucharistic adoration of the Blessed Sacrament, we just are there in front of Him. We look at Him in the Blessed Sacrament, exposed on the monstrance, and Jesus looks at us. So we can hear Him saying to us something. So we patiently and prayerfully listen to Him. I am saying this because I have experienced in my own life the beauty of being present before Jesus in the Blessed Sacrament. And I preach on this whenever I get an opportunity to do that. So I thought, since our gospel passage is very much related to this today, I can preach you on our need to come away from our busy times, busy schedules, and rest with Jesus for a while. Since I am a priest from the religious order of Blessed Sacrament in India, I preach especially on this theme of being with Jesus and Jesus being with us, and then we all rest for a while. Let us do that whenever we get an opportunity.